Hello, and welcome to As Bob Sees It. This is the VRBO episode.
A money-saving alternative to staying on Disney property is staying near Disney property. But if you have a larger party, that can quickly run your hotel bill way up too. So an excellent alternative to expensive hotel rooms is to rent a house. No, really, a whole house. And VRBO is where we go to rent our vacation homes. VRBO, or Vacation Rental by Owner, is a resort house listing service with properties all across the U.S. and for the purposes of this video, the Walt Disney World area. These vacation homes feature enough bedrooms for the largest of families, some with special theming. They have all sorts of recreation equipment and games. Many have pools and spas. And most are literally minutes away from Disney's theme parks. So with family coming in from all across the U.S., literally coast to coast, grandkids, nieces, nephews, and cousins, well, we've rented from VRBO listed properties 3 times now, and we've had some really great times, especially one Thanksgiving where we had to rent 2 houses. The rental house we just stayed at had 2 master suites on the ground floor, and a ground floor master is a must if you're in a wheelchair. And this one had 2. However, neither of them was Harry Potter themed. But when it comes to these rentals, there's just one thing that frosts my tips. Being in a wheelchair, the first thing my wife does is search for accessible homes. And although these units always list themselves as being accessible, well, they're not. Not one of these homes has actually been handicapped ADA accessible. Not one. Starting with the front door, units with a 4 to 6 inch step, it really makes you wonder how these owners define accessible. As an example, if I have to get out of my wheelchair to enter your house, well, your house isn't accessible. And the last 2 homes we've rented have been like this. They really needed a ramp to get into the house. The first one at Champions Gate was fine. They only had a 1 inch step. Second, I should be able to get my wheelchair into my bedroom. Doorways of accessible homes need to be wider to accommodate wheelchairs. And while I do realize my chair is wider than most, many places in the house you couldn't turn a regular wheelchair in the hallways to get into some of these bedrooms. The last place we stayed at, we actually slept on the living room sofas because I couldn't get in any of the bedrooms. None of these houses have featured any kind of handrails in the bathrooms, and while the latest place we stayed featured those 2 master suites on the first floor, a definite plus, neither's bathroom was handicap accessible. The non-raised pedestal toilet was at the far end of the bathroom, so you had to make your way carefully across the tile floor to get there. And while the masters did have showers instead of tubs, neither had a handheld or lower shower heads. You also need to bring your own shower seat because there are none on site. And while it's okay for us because, we live across town, I can't see carrying one on an airplane all the way from California. Or maybe I can. Now, I'm sure that there are places to rent a seat, but if you're claiming to be handicap accessible, you should be, accessible. Now, VRBO can only list what the homeowners report. I'm not sure if it's required for VRBO, but a quick inspection by them should be required for every listing. But again, there's some kind of weird dance that property owners, management companies, and VRBO engage in. But it would be easy enough to determine if a wheelchair ramp and handrails are present. If they're not, well then, it's not accessible. And if the property owners think their units are accessible without any kind of guidance as to what accessible means, well, who knows? We the renters are left to hope for the best. But at this time, I would have to say that no resort vacation home is really handicap accessible. A house really needs to be built that way. And I think a lot of it comes down to the way we book things now. We never really talked to anyone, or at least no one who would be able to answer specific questions. This last booking my wife did was almost completely on her phone. And come on, let's face facts. the place came with both a Star Wars room and a Harry Potter room. Now, a lot of these problems aren't even the homeowner's fault. Builders have been marketing these subdivisions as income makers, not residential communities, although some folks do live there full time. It's not as if the absentee owners are ever going to retire there. I mean, who needs a 7 or 8 bedroom retirement home? The only thing we have to go on as a consumer are the photos of the property's management's professional photographers cared to share. That's right, the management company. Property owners don't provide the photos. Property managers hire, at homeowners' expense, a professional photographer with professional filters on his camera. And the everyday management of these homes are left to the management companies, some even specializing in specific nationalities of property owners. Some companies are more reputable than others, and as with everything else, there are some not so reputable ones. The only thing a property owner may have to go by online is a profile of a potential management company. And if you're checking out the BBB complaints, make sure you read the entire complaint and the resolution. And what else I learned was to fully read and understand your contract. Almost all the complaints could have been avoided if the complainant had just read their contract. That's right, Jeeves, I'm on your side, you went above and beyond, and you were still treated rudely. While the management company of our rental responded rapidly to a problem at 10 at night, when we got there, I had to clean out the frozen over ice maker to make it work. An inconvenience. And there were also no batteries in the smoke detectors. An actual legitimate crime. The fix was temporary and didn't last the entire stay, and the actual fix is going to cost the homeowner a pretty penny. But what about the resort subdivisions? Well, they don't care. As long as they get their HOA fees every month, they're willing to go along with the resort program. In fact, most of them embrace it. When it comes to resort amenities, luckily these communities view renters as a guest of the homeowner, and you have full access to the exercise rooms, business centers, playgrounds, and pools, just like a full-time resident. At this resort, they had a fantastic pool with a water park, but we chose to use the pool in the backyard of our unit instead. But we could have used it if we wanted to. Okay, now that the disability rant is complete, let's talk about these rental homes. And in the words of my 10-year-old grandson, this is a really nice house. Yep, they all have plenty of room for the entire family, and our group of 8 could sit together and eat in the kitchen, in the dining room, or out by the pool. They have every convenient kitchen appliance known to man. Granted, some of them may have quirks, but we didn't need to set an alarm on coffee anyway. I mean, we were on vacation. And rentals can be quirky. I mean, we paid extra to use the grill here, and one place had a massage chair in the living room, but you had to pay extra for the power cord to work it. We did not partake of the massage chair, but my son grilled the heck out of that grill. We had something from the grill almost every night. Porterhouse on Wednesday. The garage of the unit was awesome and featured a pool table, a foosball table, and a family favorite, an air hockey table. I don't know how many quarters I dropped into air hockey tables in Ocean City Boardwalk when I was a kid. I only wish that it was air conditioned, but you know, if you had left the door open for a while, it would cool off pretty good in there. Because the afternoon sun, well, that would have been brutal. But see, this is Florida, so the afternoon sun this week was replaced by the afternoon thunderstorm. And see, that's another plus with renting a house. If your park day is ruined by weather, well, you can just all retreat to your own rooms and watch whatever you want on your own TV. No more arguing over which of the 13 channels you have to watch at the hotel room. The key feature for us this stay was the pool. Not the community pool, but the one just outside our patio doors. By the way, I didn't have any problems getting in or out of the patio door, but I did have to back in with spotter. Every morning, the family was in the pool having a great time. Afternoon, during the hottest part of the day, we'd watch a movie on Disney+. Strangely enough, we had 3 subscriptions between us. Our almost a 1-year-old grandson loves Muppet Babies, so we watch that every day. So now let's check out those special bedrooms. In addition to the 2 master suites on the ground floor, which sadly had no theming, well, there was a Star Wars room, and although technically the only community bathroom on the floor, the Star Wars bedroom had direct access to the Star Wars bathroom. So the 10-year-old had his own semi-suite? Both the Star Wars bedroom and the Harry Potter bedroom upstairs featured both a single and a double bed. The 2 downstairs master suites and the upper floor ensuite all had king-size beds, and every bedroom had its own flat-screen TV. So, would I VRBO again? Yep, you bet. We were even talking about it as we packed up to leave. It'll be great to have the family all together again, and maybe next time we'll get lucky. Next time, even the fat guy in a wheelchair will have no problems getting around. But our next adventure will find us back at Disney, and real soon. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and give Micah a big thumbs up. He did most of the video and still shots for this episode of As Bob Sees It, and I think he did an excellent job for his first time. As always, if you'd like to help us out as a team member, all you need to do is head on over to Patreon/AsBobSeesIt and sign up to be a patron. Your contribution for as little as $1 a month helps us make videos just like this one. And if you'd like to see more of this kind of video, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? It's free. All you have to do is click on the red subscribe button below. But remember, if you do subscribe, don't forget to click on that bell icon. And that way you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.